Hey y'all, I'm Alex. Today I'm going to go over 3 different stretches that you need to do if you want to increase your flexibility. Now let's get started. Before you attempt any of these stretches, I highly recommend that you are extremely warmed up. I personally like doing these stretches either halfway through my kicking workout or at the very end. That way I'm super warmed up, my muscles are just ready to go, ready to get stretched out, and it also helps prevent any injuries. Now, I will say that I hate stretching. I'm not a fan of stretching. I get bored really easily. But over the last few years, these are the 3 stretches that I have always made sure that I did. I didn't really even do these that consistently, but I feel like these are the best 3 and most effective stretches that you can do to help increase your flexibility. The first one is very simple. Basically, all you're going to do is just slide your legs out to the side as far as you can, basically like you're trying to do the full splits. Now, there's a few things to keep in mind when you are doing this. One, you want to make sure that you're not leaning too far forward or too far back. You want to make sure that your hips are pretty much right in the center of your stretch. As you're going down, obviously you want to make sure that your legs are very straight. You don't want to make sure there's any bend in them at all. And then also, I like to put my heels in the ground and then point my toes up. I feel like this also helps maximize your stretch as well. It is going to be a little bit more uncomfortable than versus like having your feet flat on the ground, but having your toes pointed up to the ceiling with your legs straight is definitely going to help maximize your stretch. Once you can go down from there and you can kind of get to a point where it's a little uncomfortable, then if you can, you want to try to put your elbows on the ground in front of you. Now, like I said before, you don't want to lean too far forward. So when doing this, still make sure that you're still in the center of your stretch, mainly your hips. That's where you want to focus it at. Hips are still in the center of your stretch. Once you can get down low enough while keeping your legs straight, toes are up to the air, then try to go down to your elbows and hold it from there. I recommend starting off, getting into this position to where you feel a really good stretch, holding it for 60 seconds. Once you can kind of manage 60 seconds, then kind of go for 2 minutes and then go up to like 3 minutes. The goal would be to be able to hold this for 3 to 5 minutes. This second stretch is basically going to be like an American split or a front split. When doing this, make sure that your back knee is on the ground, and then from there you're basically going to put your front leg out straight, and you want to make sure that your hips are pretty square in the direction that you're stretching. Same thing for this, you want to really make sure that that front leg is out straight and put your toes up towards the ceiling. Now, for your back leg, you also want to try to get it as straight as you can and have your, think of you want to have that your top of your foot is going to be on the ground. You don't want to have it off to the side too much or kind of up off the ground. Try to get it flat, straight on the ground as well. Same thing for this one. I recommend that you try to hold this for starting off for 60 seconds, obviously on both sides because you got to make sure you have your right leg out and your left leg out. Hold it for 60 seconds at a time and then gradually just add on a minute once you can kind of handle it. Same thing, just make sure that you are properly stretching. You've got that leg out straight, your hips are right in the center of your stretch, toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. The goal would be the same as the first one. Try to get to where you could hold it for 3 to 5 minutes. This third and final stretch you will need a partner for. It's going to be the wall splits. So basically with this one, all you're going to do is get your butt as close to the wall and your back as close to the wall as possible, keeping your back straight, and then basically you're just going to let your partner just kind of push your legs out as far as you can go. For this one, you definitely want to gradually kind of get a little bit further at a time. And for this, you could kind of basically start off doing it for like 3 to 5 minutes at a time. What I like to do is get into the position and then get to where I can feel a pretty good stretch. I'll hold it there for about, I would say roughly like 1 minute. Once you hold it for the first minute, have your partner just push it out just a little bit more and then hold it for another minute and kind of repeat that at least up until you get to 3 minutes. If you can, try to make it to 5 minutes and try to push it out a little bit more each time. For this one, definitely make sure that you communicate with your partner and make sure you go nice and slow. You don't want to just push your legs out too fast at a time. Just nice and easy. You want to ease out each side until you feel a good stretch. Hold it there, and then if you can, try to push it out like another inch or so on the next minute. I recommend that you do this one at the very end because once you do this one, your legs are definitely going to feel like jello and it's going to be a good little finisher. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want to check out my other stretching ones, I will link my playlist in the description box down below. Definitely go check those out. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and if you would like to have a one-on-one lesson with me, visit alexwongtkd.com for more details. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I'll see you guys later.